Guys, it's your girl Ashley Janae. Thank you for tuning in to Club Rich, where we talk about all the hot topics. And hey, I'm happy that you guys tuned in. I went MIA last week because of my late flight and stuff from Miami, but we'll get into that in a second. Before we get to all that, let's do our cocktail of the evening. And I need everybody to come in through the chat. What are you guys sipping on this evening? I know for me, if I would have had time to prepare, the cocktail for the evening is from Earl Stevens, aka E40, and it's his mango flavored wine with a dash of pineapple juice. Did not come up with a name for it, but it's really really good. So you guys check that out. So it's Earl Stevens with a dash of pineapple juice. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get Club Rich up on my phone, you guys, so I can see these comments. I missed y'all last week. So long story short, look, my flight got delayed for approximately 3 hours. So then get to my destination late. Couldn't chime in for the episode, so I definitely apologize, you guys. But I'm here. I'm here. So let's get into these hot topics for the one time. You ready, Mickey?
Ready?
Ready as ready can be, right?
Ready.
Yeah. All right. So are you guys buying these Drake tickets? You buying some Drake tickets? You not?
No, man.
All right, y'all gonna cuss me out because I paid $500 for my Drake. Y'all don't understand the love that I have for this man. I got kicked out of my last Drake concert like 10 years ago because I actually snuck backstage. It was like me and a whole group of friends, and I'm the only one that made it backstage. And before I could get right to his dressing room, I got caught, and I got thrown back out to general admissions, and I was so pissed. And that was at the DTE. You know how like DTE has like the big hill at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like general admission. Then you got the seats. So I went from being at the hill because the hill was like $40 at the time. Then you start making your way down through the crowd. So I'm shooting. I done got to the crowd part, the main floor. So I'm thinking I'm about to get backstage. I done found the door open. I'm just like, all right. I just walked back there and yep, right before I got to the dressing room they caught me. But anyways, yep, paid my $500. Why you not gonna buy the tickets, Mickey?
No, I'm not paying no $500 to see Drake.
That's nosebleeds too.
I know. I can believe it. Somebody, hopefully you go live with somebody recorded in there and I'll watch it that way.
Sure, the way them tickets cost, it should be no phones allowed in that joint. Trevor, it's not the morning time. Good evening, Trevor. How are you? So, in other news, this has been a very hot topic for the week, and I'm just going to get your opinion on it, Mickey, since you have a significant other. So, have you seen the pictures circulating with Sierra and Russell Wilson from the what was it, Vanity Fair event?
Yeah, we kind of touched on it, but I want to see your opinion about
Okay, y'all. So, for those who don't know, Sierra showed up in a very sheer outfit where you could see her parts. And so everybody was in an uproar. They didn't like it for the most part. There were some people that defended her though, and said, she's his wife, and if he let her out the house like that, well, not let her out the house, but if he didn't say anything and was by her side, looked like he was pretty happy to be at the event with her. So I mean, who are we to judge?
it. AD gave
Oh, she talked about it. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
AD. I didn't have a chance to watch your episode.
Oh yeah, plus a shameless plug. I'm gonna say AD uncensored.
AD uncensored.
But this what she said. She said you got to understand. Maybe she was getting paid because that was the outfit, so it could have been her. You know what I'm saying? Fires the bag, like
It was a theme too.
yeah, and that's what she was saying. She's probably like she probably got paid because she has a body and and then she do modeling
Yeah,
for
and
designers. I'm saying not
honestly,
so,
not to throw any kind of shade or nothing, but she makes a better model than she does music. Like I think modeling was her way to kind of
I'm saying for designers, not
Yeah.
doing no runway.
No, I get what you're saying. So shoot, if she getting paid to do stuff like that, or if it draws attention to her, that's a part of her brand. I see if it was just me, ordinary person, just walking around with a sheer dress on, going downtown to go have some drinks. Like that's a little too much, but most likely she is getting paid, getting some kind of compensation or whatever for the. And look, if her husband don't mind, why we mind?
Kind of point.
Now, would you let your woman wear that dress if y'all was going to an event, like a real upscale event?
It depends. Like, now, if that's part of her, how she made, she was getting money that way, I can understand. Like, if that was part of her brand, because everything is different now. Everything is about branding. So when you got a brand, you have to do certain things when you push them, when you're trying to push yourself. And like right now, as far as your name, likeness, everything is NIL. You can make money off of you.
So my thing of it is, it's kind of a slippery slope for me because once you get married, it is a certain level of respect that should be maintained. But we ain't talking about an ordinary, just everyday woman. We are talking about somebody that is classified as a supermodel too. So it's kind of like,
I mean, she in the entertainment.
yes. So it's a different story. I can't say it's the same for me that it will be for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Like she in entertainment, so she a brand. See her as a brand, and this how she make her money.
You paying for this YouTube increase to $73 a month?
Who?
YouTube.
That's what they charging now.
Yeah, but I think when you do that, it's the all the movies and stuff you get to watch them. You know how you can see that it say you could either buy or rent
Right.
Bad Boys or whatever.
Right.
I had it for a hot second. It was like $49 or something like that, but they increased it to 73
for the year.
And monthly.
When you can get a Fire Stick and catch all of that.
Maybe I got a Fire Stick in the car I just bought to throw in the kids' room, and I know how to break that mud. But that's a different story.
Right.
I was looking at a news feed earlier today while I was at work, and do you pay any attention to like the stuff in Russia and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin, which he's for Russia, right? Or
Right.
Ukraine?
He the president of
Ukraine, right?
Or is he Russia. No.
Russia. So they have a warrant out for his arrest.
Who did that?
I believe it's in between Russia and Ukraine. So this is the deal.
No, I know they want to put him, but I'm just saying they gonna put a warrant out for Vladimir Putin. They think they gonna arrest.
He's hiding out. Do you know what they're trying to charge him with? Basically trafficking young kids, like the kids that got separated from their parents and all that kind of stuff that got put in those camps and stuff.
Right.
They was trafficking them between Russia and Ukraine. So say your kid got separated from you or whatever, and they found your kid, threw them in the camp or whatever, and they might send them over to Russia for whatever reason. I have absolutely no clue. What is the correlation?
So answer this question too. Who charged Vladimir Putin? I think the prime minister was. Who charged the president? He run Russia. Who charged him saying they're gonna arrest him? That's what I want to know.
That's a very good question. I had wrote that down earlier too, because it's like the other country is trying to get him charged with trafficking, and then he has some accomplices that are also in government. So that don't that scare you? Like when it's the higher ups, because it's like who's gonna check them? You know what I'm saying? About anything that they do.
That's rough right there.
That's we're gonna keep y'all posted on that. We're definitely gonna talk more about it because it's breaking news. So we don't have too much information as of yet. I was just looking at it when I was at work and they said it was developing. So next, and speaking of trafficking, so T-Boz from TLC, her daughter Chase should be like about 23. So she was coming home from a doctor's appointment yesterday and got followed, and actually was some sex traffickers. They tried to abduct her.
This the one she had by Mac 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. So she was just putting out a video earlier about sex trafficking. It's been becoming like really, really crazy lately. I've been wondering sometimes, you know how you see on Facebook like somebody you might have went to school with and they got a kid that's like 16, 17, they just quote unquote ran away and you haven't heard from them in a week or two. I wonder, is it really a runaway or is it that trafficking? You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible right there.
That's crazy. And then people let their kids just do a lot of everything nowadays. Like,
I ain't saying it ain't never been bad, but like how crazy the world is now, like you really do have to watch your kids.
you do.
Even when they in, like you said, 21, 22, like she was 23. What's crazy is that you have to tell your kids about this sex trafficking. Like it's bad enough.
I'm just glad that I have two boys. It's not that it won't happen to them, but you never know. Like,
I mean, but that's another story right there. Cause then you got, like you said, you got 2 males. Now you got to worry about them getting pulled over.
getting put. That's the part that scares me. Really having to explain because one of them is going to be a hothead. The 2-year old, I already know. The 6-year old, he's really, really calm and all that kind of stuff. But the 2-year old, he's a firecracker. So I got a feeling that if he take anything after his dad, I'm going to have some problems out of him because his dad is a very crazy person,
You never know. He might
to
turn out.
say the least.
You can't say that he probably gonna be. I mean, but you gotta, yeah, he probably turned out to be a great young
No.
man.
I tells the truth. All right. So other news. Have you been keeping up with this escape bull crap? They got a new show.
I semi read something on it. I was really checking out about money being stole. Basically, that nobody want to help you.
Latasha is the head singer of the group. And so she was the one back in the day that everybody said was the fat one out of the group. I didn't say it, that's what they said.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
And so then her little sister, Tamika,
Right.
they had a situation where Tiny's mom informed the little sister that they had a new royalty that was coming in that happened to be a sum of $30,000. Tamika never got that. Everybody else did. And so she's trying to figure out like what happened. So come to find out it was a check that she had that was cashed, but she ain't the one that cashed it.
Who
So-
cashed it?
Her sister.
She just she don't want. She don't want to. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Damn.
on the second episode of the show, Tamika went out her way to confront Latasha about it. And she did this in front of their mom. Now you can kind of tell on the episode that the mom was kind of siding with the thief, which I wouldn't be surprised if the mom got a cut. And that's kind of why, she's like, oh, well, she could have been going through something, this, that, and the other, like really justifying the sister stealing the money from her. So have you ever like cut off a family member because they just was on some bull crap? Might not have been the thief or nothing, but you ever had a family member that you just had to go ahead and get rid of?
I mean, yeah, plenty of times. Maybe I could have been the one that got cut off to do something. You know, sometimes it could be, it could be. You never know how to. Door can open 2 ways. One minute you could be the one being old, then you can be the one who. You know what I'm saying? I think. Well, okay, but hey, Becky Brown. She said I thought it was her husband.
Oh, it's both of them. Oh yeah, and so Latasha, her husband is her manager, and has been her manager since they was young, since the 90s.
Right.
So really, the rest of the group always really complained about that because it was too close to home. If they had some business that they needed to discuss, the husband always had to be there. He always had his 2 cents, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of got to the point where, in my opinion, I think they kind of separated and went their ways because it was too much involvement with the husband.
But this is my thing. If she took the 30, I mean, it's messed up. When she took the 30, right, the royalty, and her mama said, you don't know what she was going through.
She said it on the episode. You don't know.
Well, her mama ain't gonna want to see their kids, see her kids.
Look, See, this is
I ain't
why.
say it's right. I just say how a mother would do. Just hear me out. A child can go kill somebody, be all the way in the wrong. Mama gonna come back, make 1,000 excuses, and start saying, "No, he was just wrong. They must have did." So I'm just saying, a
No,
mother,
that's how people are,
yeah.
especially when it comes to boys too. Like girls is one thing, but when it's a mom that has a toxic son, ain't nothing worse than a mom that has a toxic son because she gonna go with the son all day. The son can go and shoot up a stove, come home. She like, well, he didn't mean it. Y'all should just go ahead and forgive him. I have been a witness of having an in-law that her son could do no wrong. So
I mean,
toxic parents are definitely a thing.
if she's still making money, that's the problem.
They're they're on tour right now, but the thing of it is, the thief got kicked off the tour.
Oh, well, that's
Well,
how you
I
do
don't
it.
know if she got kicked off, but she's decided to pursue a solo career as a gospel artist.
Maybe that's a way where she can. Because what I can say, if she making some money, maybe she can't pay her back the full 30 just like that, but maybe she give her back 3 here. If they doing, ain't nobody gonna just give up all everything right at once. Maybe give her 3 here and something there. Cause they doing shows when she able to pay her.
She hasn't even admitted to being the thief. That's the problem. So the check just got magically cashed.
But if they can they prove she did it?
She said she got receipts, but my thing of it is, if you got the receipts, baby, go ahead and throw them down. Why are you taking so long? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody stole something from me, I'm telling. I'm telling. You could be my brother, cousin, mom. I look.
But
You
this is
know.
the thing. But this one, how does she get the check if the check coming to her? That's what I don't get. Like,
I don't know if it was through their management at the time. I have absolutely
so
no clue.
management could have been playing games. They doing it.
So that's a very touchy subject. I thought I wanted to talk about that really, really quick. Trying to see some. I did not know. Okay, did you know that Mystical got arrested again for rape a second time?
Again?
He was currently in jail, and they say he's seeking a gag order on the rape victim to protect his privacy. So I guess she wants to disclose some of the details of the rape that took place, and he wants a gag order. And they said the incident occurred in 2022, so that was last year. He accused her of stealing $100, and he said he assaulted her, yanked her by her braids, took her keys and phone, and prevented her from departing. And then he proceeded to assault her sexually.
That's terrible.
The first time around, I was kind of like, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like back in the day with the Tupac situation, they saying that he was just there
Right.
and other people took part, but because he didn't stop it or whatever the case may be, and then he was the most famous person in the situation, he takes the biggest blow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, it kind of made me wonder, was that the same situation with him? But my thing of it is, if I had to spend a decade in jail for something that I did do or didn't do, whatever the case may be, I would not set myself up to even be in the vicinity of something
Again.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So if it happened in a hotel at a party, baby, you ain't invite me to no hotel parties no more after that.
Ain't that something? It's like when I entertain it, it's like you see some of the craziest stuff they be doing. Like I ain't never seen nobody who wanna get money to go to jail. I thought you went to making money to avoid all this crazy stuff.
I'll tell you like this, it just takes a different type of person. I know for me, when I started my business and stuff, a lot of places I don't go anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially when I started getting momentum and I had people out of town and different businesses inquiring about my company and my services and all that kind of stuff. You wouldn't dare catch me in holes in the walls and all that kind of stuff anymore. And you got to be precautious of the people that you have around you that are your friends, even if they are people that you've known for years. You have to be very cautious, very. So I don't know. Maybe he needs to switch up his friends, but he in jail now, so he can't switch up too much of that now.
But you gotta understand, like he's not mystical as 50. Like if they tell him 5 or 10, he'll be 60. Like who wanna? I mean, I get what you're saying. If I didn't got jammed up in something, I wouldn't be doing something again. Or even be put in a situation where I have to go through something like this.
I wouldn't even want to be around the people that I was around before the stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even if they didn't have anything to do with it, it's just a change of scenery. You have to put yourself in a different scenery.
But I don't think people really get it. I don't know, like some of the stuff you see as far as people trying to, they get money, then they want to go gang bang, They want to be hanging around. I mean, he been in it for a minute, and I'm saying you want to be. It's like I thought you get money to be legit. I'm not finna get money to resort back to the.
It would take a lot for me to want to be around some of the old surroundings that I've been in, especially as a teenager and then a young adult. Who wants to backpedal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my goal would be who could I bring with me? Like, if I could reach back, I mean, I ain't gonna say if I could, but like the like-minded ones I could pull with me, that's why I go grab, like on this entrepreneurial type thing. I ain't gonna say it's gonna pop off.
But you never know.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, it might be a grind. You know what I'm saying?
A grind. But you have to have that ambition. You have to have that mindset of, hey, I have a goal, an end goal, or whatever, and I just gotta figure out what's the steps to get to that end goal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of people want to bypass the steps. They just want to jump and be there.
Right.
No, it's a process. It's definitely a process.
A lot of people think Rome was built overnight.
And it's not.
Right.
All right, so what's next on the list? Hey, have you seen Black China lately? Her posts and stuff she's been putting online on Baller Alert. Shout out to them. And on Hollywood Unlocked.
About the butt implants.
She's been getting all her injections, butt implants, face fillers. She's even taking her nails off. She's removed her extensions, her hair extensions. She's just basically saying she's ready to start over and, have a clean look and all that kind of stuff. And I see that other people have been catching up. Really, before that, it was K. Michelle was really the first person.
Right. That's what I was going to
say. To start that. But who else was it that recently said they were getting their stuff removed? It was Black China, K. Michelle. I can't remember who it is. I had to come back to that. But how do you feel about someone? Because she's had all this stuff for over a decade. Because Black China is my age. Cardi B. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at them for wanting to go back natural. I mean,
do you think that's how they gotten to the point that they are by having all that? That's dangerous, though.
Yeah, and I think they probably see, we only hear about, the successful surgeries. And then you don't know the complications. I mean, for a person to take something off, they might have seen it was complications, Maybe she didn't got tired.
Yeah. I just think that a lot of that is getting the stuff is extra stress on the body, but getting all that removed, I would think that would be a lot of stress on the body too, because now you have to kind of heal and your body has to adjust going back to its normal self, and it might not go back to normal. So you might have some complications from getting all that stuff removed, because she said she had jaw fillers or something like that, and they had to shoot her up for it to dissolve. That's a lot. That is a lot. All right, so next on the list, let me see. Oh my God, this is a hot mess. Tamar Braxton.
What she do now?
Oh, it ain't just her. It's Evelyn Lozada from Basketball Wives. She quit the show like maybe 2 seasons ago.
Was she ever
She was with Chad Ochocinco. Remember he headbutted her and beat her up a little bit?
The football player, not a basketball player.
Well, that's the name of the show, Basketball Wives.
I know. She was. Yeah.
She was just on there just to be on.
No, I think she had I forgot who she was. She was engaged.
She was engaged. She had a kid with the head of the company that Megan Thee Stallion was on for a second. What's the child's name? Because he's so corny.
You talking about Carl Crawford?
That's her baby.
The baseball player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but shit, he had $130 million contract.
he's so changed.
You know
No, it's just from stuff that he's been doing as of lately. Like he's finally apologized to Meg Thee Stallion, but when all that stuff happened with Tory Lanez, he was taunting her and just doing a lot of extra stuff.
I mean, you gotta understand. Look at the money he probably spent for Rock Nation and just to come get it. You gotta understand. Sometimes these people be putting this money into these artists, and then when they finally do pop,
A lot of the times, it's not a good situation to begin with. Sometimes, I guarantee you, she probably signed that paperwork and was just like, "Hey, I'm out the hood." You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. This is for the long run. Hey, I'm out the hood.
no,
Whatever. Whatever.
I ain't saying that, but like I'm just saying business. If I'd have spent then there, just say I'm just gonna say maybe he might have spent then there $500,000 into her career. Remember, she was on before she got to Rock Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe they grabbed her up because remember he had to take her to court. Remember they was going to
They
court.
just got out of the situation.
Yeah.
Just got out.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to think. I ain't saying I get it. You know, don't nobody, you don't supposed to sign no lifetime contract. But and Becky Brown said tomorrow is getting married. I'm just saying.
And we're gonna get into that foolishness.
And I was gonna say, sometimes just compensate them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, I don't feel like they should have went to court. But sometimes you have to take people to court to get an understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could have been something amicable that they could have some partner.
She probably just wanted to bust a move. She probably situation wasn't benefiting her as much anymore because she probably popped off way more than she thought she would.
Right.
And you know, when you start getting endorsements and all that kind of stuff, you have to give some of that proceeds to the people that discovered you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
what up, good brother Tay? Hey, Winters.
hey, I don't see y'all comments. You on YouTube? My stuff do not want to upload. I've been looking at Trevor's comment for the last 20 minutes.
I don't know why y'all, I'm right here.
My phone is retarded. I can't do this. But anyways, get back to this. Evelyn, the Tamar, and actually the singer Nivea, which that's my boo Nivea. Hi, how you doing? I be talking to her sometimes. She's nice.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm trying to get some stuff together to get her to Flint, but that's a different story off camera. You know.
I got you.
But anyways, they got a new show called The Queen's Court, which is actually a dating series. And it's on Peacock. I don't know if it premiered or not yet. I don't think so. But anyways, of course, on the show, all three ladies are looking for men. From the previews that I've seen, the men are like in their 40s, 50s, you know, distinguished. So within the last 24 hours, Evelyn and Tamar announced their engagements from the men that they were dealing with on the show. The show, well, Tamar even said this on the Breakfast Club. She's been on there for the week or whatever.
What?
She knew the guy for 3 weeks. So I guess the show was probably like a month filming or 3 weeks or whatever. He proposed to her on the show. And she accepted it. After knowing him for 3 weeks. They didn't get too much information on Evelyn's proposal, but I need y'all to get in the chat. Y'all gonna accept somebody's proposal after 3 weeks and y'all really ain't dating. It's just that I've been in your presence for 3 weeks filming a TV show. Like, okay, is online dating and dating apps and stuff, is that the way to go now? What's your opinion? Is that the new style?
I don't know.
I guess you ain't.
Listen, I'm old fashioned. I can't get nothing like. I mean, I don't get it. Like, how could you go on the show? Is this like a script? They just feel the American people is just this retarded that they can just come up and say, "Hey, I mean, because I done seen somebody meet somebody they didn't met. And like, look, I'm ready to get married.
I knew we was doing when about 20 years ago, girls were swabbing up Flavor Flav. I knew some had to be up. Because you ain't about to come up to me and say, hey, you going to go on this show for about a few weeks. All you got to do is kiss on Flavor. No, I don't. But if I'm getting paid to act a donkey and the check look good, I might consider it. So, yeah, I guess it's more of money involved. And then the dude that Tamar is with, he's a lawyer. He's like a very well-established lawyer down there in Georgia. So
But I'm just saying, who they can't find nobody had to come on a TV show and like say, hey, look, I need to find me a soulmate. Like, has it then became? Because remember, still with Flavor Flav. Remember, he didn't marry none. He wasn't gonna marry none of them. He was with the what was it, the white lady that he was
Oh,
married to.
Bridget Nielsen or
No,
whatever.
remember he had a kid by this lady, whoever he had brought onto the show. It was
Wait,
never.
he had a kid with the girl on the show. I thought it was just like a
No,
random.
no, it was another lady he had brought on. That was not a
It's been
part
so
of
long
it.
ago. I
That's what
used to
I'm
watch that
saying.
show faithfully.
Becky said they should get Mr. Mays on the show. On what show, Becky?
Shoot,
She on
hey,
YouTube.
we about to get Maze his own dating show. Is Maze single?
Yeah, he said
We
he's
had to look.
single.
We had to ask him. Is he sing? If we sing, we gonna have to get him a dating show. Who wants Maze?
Yeah, see if we can put something together.
Hey, for real. You know what? Dr. Weaver, if you're paying attention, we're gonna go ahead and get that started. Who wants Maze? um. Oh, okay. This is some good news. So I don't know how to quite feel about this. Diddy is one of the few people that's lining up to possibly buy BET. It's between him, Byron Allen, which is the owner of the Weather Channel, and Tyler Perry.
Mm.
How do you feel about that? Because truth be told, BET has not really actually ever been black owned,
In a
even though
minute.
yeah.
Like
Even though they keep
last
trying
30.
to like put that in our face that it's black owned, but it's
Oh my Viacom. I mean,
right.
you know what? If I wish the three brothers could get together and buy it,
That would be a good
and
idea.
then put some, you know what I'm saying, get back to like how it was, throw some quality shows on there, like Fire Tyler Perry, Fire. Because I wouldn't trust Byron Allen for shit. Just to
Yeah,
be honest
he's
with you,
a
to put
nice coon.
to put some quality shows, because with the network he ain't got none of the shows that we could watch on there. You know what I'm saying? Like he gotta, you know what I'm saying?
He's very coon.
Don't get me wrong. I was on with him for a minute when I was looking at. He was saying he wanted to get far as blacks brought in to get some of that money when he made his run. You know what I'm saying? Far as getting contracts, how we far as black entertainment, far as news sources that they don't get a fair share of advertisement dollars. I got on the train. I was on it for about a week. Then after I peeped it out, after I sat back before he went back and just got what he wanted, it was for him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, then when you go to look at his network, the shows that he got on, he don't got shows that represent that what we'd like to go see. Oh, that's for us.
I want some
That's
new
what I'm
content.
saying. I'm sick of the blacks. I know he is, Becky. He married to a snow bunny.
Oh, Byron. Of course, you could tell, but
Yeah, but
child,
that's what I'm saying. Even though he a billionaire, I feel like probably
he's a billionaire for them. He's not for the people.
yeah,
No.
that's what I'm saying. But with him with linking up with Tyler Perry and even with Puffy, but see, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
tired of looking at Tyler Perry.
I'm saying
right
with
here.
his shows,
I'm tired of his shows.
I
I'm
just
tired
wish,
of him.
but they do be catered to some blacks. I mean, catered to blacks. The shows do be catered to. I would just love, and there's no shade, but I would love for it to be less coons getting their money and then doing stuff. I would like more stump down brothers and sisters with
Right.
that will get in there and help bring us up, not get in there and help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Get the attitude. I got mine. I ain't got.
Diddy is notorious for
That's why.
That's why I'm like, I mean, if y'all want to, y'all could bring him in. It's the only thing for me is that you could already tell that Tyler has some kind of stake in BET anyways. He has a stake in BET. Whether he's gonna admit that or not, look at how much content on BET is Tyler Perry based content.
But is that the only one that will give him besides Oprah? What was it? What was her station that she had?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wait, she ain't got the station
I
number?
don't know, but I don't think he on.
I ain't heard nothing about it since.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he on there no more because if all his based on BET, but it would be a good look if they would really make it BET. You know what I'm saying?
Real BET.
If they really did it like that and have a real, like, see, me, my thing would be if they linked up, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not all the way 100% with them, but I rocks with them from time to time. Like, if you had somebody, like, if they got with Roland Martin, fires they news aspect of it, because he doing his thing. If we can get together, like blacks get together who got money and put some stuff together, yeah, man, we could build an industry that could suit us.
Yeah. And see, that's where you coming in. See, look, see, I segue. That's where you coming in. So you bring in, new vibes and just a open space. I think when it comes to television, because there's so many sponsors and people that's pitching in with production and all that kind of stuff, you get limited. So, say the owners of Pepsi wanna chime in and dictate certain content and stuff that you have on your channel. If they're giving you millions and millions of dollars, of course they're gonna feel like that they can have a say so on what kind of content you got.
That's how you know who's selling out and who not.
Yeah, so
all you gotta do is follow the money.
We're never gonna get exactly what we want until it is a Puffy or whoever that owns it. That's only if they decide to use it for good.
Right.
Don't get the channel and then say, hey, I want to do it like Revolt and have it all catered to shit they got to do with Bad Boy. Because I promise you, Revolt, I liked it for a hot second. And then you could tell that a lot of people was even pulling out or something from Revolt because it's like a lot of open time that's on there now.
Right.
So it's not a continuous schedule on there anymore, which I did like the idea of him having his own channel. But he does a lot of recycled material on there, a lot of recycled material. So,
because we get caught up into, and Becky, I'm with you. I watch Karen Hunter too. But see, what I think what it is, because I'm looking at the people on you. I mean Becky on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm reading mine show.
I was trying to get my stuff back.
No, this one shows YouTube and Facebook comment. But see, my thing is, if we keep trying, I think what we messed up at in this, listen, when after we did desegregation, we was able to go to their stores. I think able to go to the stores, I think that hurt us more than anything. Because now, look, we don't own nothing.
And then that's why I kind of want to talk to Dr. Weaver about too. Especially when you have Black-owned businesses that we have to do a lot of our marketing and getting a storefront, and we have to use other races to get those storefronts and all that kind of stuff. Once we cut Black to Black transactions out and turn it into Black and whoever transactions, it gets to the point where either our content and merchandise is watered down, or we have to tweak it and change it up to their liking because they're assisting us some way somehow. Right. So it's not as authentic as it could have been if it was just a Black on Black transaction.
Or they tell you got to make it for all people.
Yeah. So you had to change it. You got to do something, that they want.
We the only ones get told you got to make it for all. When anybody else,
well, you could turn it on CBS and NBC and a lot of that stuff on there. I ain't never laughed at that stuff.
No, right.
Like, hey, if that's what you want to cater to, that's what you want to cater to. But you don't see us saying, hey, man, when I turn it on NBC, I don't like that y'all play such and such and such on here. No, either watch it or turn the channel.
You're not gonna hear them tell NBC or Fox News they got to make it cater. Fox News is such a hell of a propaganda station.
Fox News.
But I'm saying, if you look at all of them saying that, but they don't. I don't really want to touch on this, but if you notice, why you think podcasts are popping now? Where you looking at the regular news, where you watching, not just because it's freaking, because it's people getting money. You got to go look at.
No, I said freedom.
Yeah, right. See, you getting handed a script on mainstream media. They're gonna tell you what you can and can't talk about.
Paid programming.
Right. So and what you like they say sometimes this could be a gift and a curse. But this giveaway where you can actually talk about what's going on, where your boss ain't telling you you can't do this because he cool with this person over here in power.
Yeah.
Or you getting grants from certain so you cannot talk about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As soon as you get that grant money, they're gonna give you the stipulations.
Yeah, that's why you see, like I'm looking at Becky Brown when she talk about the rolling miners, the Karen Hunters. Really, you see these people going to YouTube because you gotta look. I ain't gonna say
Space.
too much fruit, but you gotta certain things you can't talk about. Like
Still.
yeah, or you would be censored. But it's like you able to say more than what you'll be able to do on the mainstream media. Because you're not gonna get both sides. Like we get the mainstream media, you know, MSNBC, CNN, they gonna tell us, for example, R. Kelly was guilty. Did you see he was on Corey Holcomb's show?
I didn't want to believe that that's who was talking on there because me and my friend was sitting there listening to it because it was like 30 minutes of him talking, like the whole first 30 minutes
We're
of the
gonna
show.
work on the kid.
What'd she say?
Nah, Kev said bring me on her show.
Who?
Kevin Tack, he said bring him on your show.
Shoot, I bring him in for a special guest. No, I couldn't believe that was him for a minute. The only thing that I did not like about that episode was that Corey was going so hard to like take the responsibility off of Kels for the stuff that he did. Like it was just, yeah, he's in jail for this and this, that, and the other. And it's like, sir, a lot of his doing is recorded on tape for the world to see. Like we ain't just making this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to still hold that man responsible.
But this the thing, I get what you're saying, but is it that what they locked him up for?
It don't even matter at this point.
I mean, no, we say that, but then we let other people off like a Elvis Presley or Jerry Lee Lewis. See, the thing is,
I always say the Elvis.
Yeah, see, right. But see what it is, we always Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner is disgusting.
No, but I'm just saying, but it ain't like only in our community we want to go by the book.
That's
and when
why
you ain't got both sides. Now I'm just saying with R. Kelly, for you to be charged, I'm just saying, now I don't know, you know, you got his story, their story. I mean, then you got the truth. It's just kind of hard for me to believe when you got a justice system like we got here in America that they say justice is blind, but it's only blind when it's, you know, nah. It seemed like she lift up that scarf over her
blindfold for
when
us.
she comes see is colored people coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's Judy Priestley would say.
This the thing, though. I understand what you're saying. One point that Corey made that I appreciated, and I always said this, is that if we about to lock Kels up for doing the whatever he did, we gotta lock up the participants. We gotta lock up the mamas and the daddies that said, hey, you know, you want to go to Kels' house? I know you're 13 years old. Hey, you want to go to Kels' house? I know what he's been doing over the years, but hey, you still want to go over there? You need to lock them parents up. You need to lock up the people that were surrounding him, the bodyguards, the cooks, the cleaning lady that came up and cleaned up behind all this stuff. Like, we need to lock all them folks up too.
But this was crazy. Like, I'll give you an example, Charlamagne the God. He act like I'm just saying, when you look at surviving R. Kelly, they went and got people who wasn't even there that could speak on it. Like Charlamagne wasn't there. And then he had something to come out on him. But you see how
that got brushed real quick.
Because like you said, because he cool. See, they can go get him to go say. They can go get him and say, yeah, R. Kelly was wrong. He needs to be locked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See, he don't see that. He don't understand that one day when he not in favor, they might bring all his stuff out and don't cover it up. So you have to look at stuff like that.
But they say cover your tail.
Yeah.
And I understand that, you know, like Corey was saying, that he didn't get locked up necessarily for what we think he's getting locked up for.
Right.
His ass still need to be in jail.
I mean, you can say that, but the culture on that aspect of it, then you need to lock everybody up from that era. He wasn't the
Okay,
only
well, shoot,
one. He the only
let's go
one
down the
that I'm
list.
saying because he the only one they put out there. So it's easy to tear a man down. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like shouldn't the record companies went to jail too? Some of the record execs.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm just saying. 'Cause don't you think they knew about it?
I'm pretty sure.
That's all I'm saying. It's just to me, it's like they be selective picking who they want to lock up.
Oh, of course they're gonna do selective,
Because,
decision making.
because you didn't heard what's that one child actor Corey Feldman? Remember
That man is off his rocker.
no, but when they were saying how they done been raped and all this in Hollywood, you hear all these stories is going on.
He's crazy.
You hear them, but yet you never hear about none of them getting locked up. You would hear about, oh, this person, this actress went crazy. This one struck out on drugs. How is it every time? Look at Lindsay Lohan. They knew she was on drugs.
She cleaned her life up, and she actually just announced that she was pregnant yesterday.
But that's what I'm saying. How did she
That's
get?
nice.
She was a Disney child. How did she get? How did she get introduced to drugs?
I don't know. They're all them people that's in that spotlight and stuff, especially at a young age, because she was really really young. They end up being crazy. That's the dude from That's So Raven. He's off his rock. What's his name? Orlando.
Yeah.
How do crazy.
Yeah, how do Orlando
Brown? Is it Brown? Yeah.
How do these teenagers? But then look at that. The parents they be pushing that kid because they know an income coming with that from a child star.
I'm gonna tell you something that I know. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm very, very, very close with somebody that's a part of Aaliyah's camp,
Right.
and me and him we talk pretty often, and he was just telling me a lot of wild stories from back then, and it got to the point where in like the late '90s and stuff, like when Puffy really got into those parties, them Hampton parties, and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't an age limit. That was strike number one. It wasn't a limit on what can happen at that party as far as drug wise, sexual activities, anything that you could think of, because this is at a place that he's paying for the party and all that kind of stuff. So all those child actors and stuff, say you acted in a movie with Will Smith. If Will Smith went to a party, you 12 years old and you at the same party as Will Smith. Just an example.
Yeah,
so
I can believe that.
A lot of those kids were put into adult situations, and a lot of the times, if they're not with their parents, they're either with their management, which their management don't care.
Right.
It's just like, hey, as long as they with some type of adult, they cool. And a lot of times, they were not with anybody. They would come to these events by themselves. So he said he's seen so much crazy stuff that he understood why these kids ended up being crazy and going off the handle, because I can go into a party with Will Smith. One room, there's a drug room.
Right.
Another room is a sex room.
Right.
So if I don't have any adult supervision and I get a hold to some cocaine and I can do it whenever I want to.
Right.
Voila. There you go. You got your problem child.
But that's what. But then but see that's another topic there. Should the parents be charged then when they kids be getting, because we push our kids to these things, even with sports.
These kids are minors. Like I'm talking about, like I said, some of them weren't even quite teenagers at this point. But because they had these relationships with all these older famous people.
Right.
You know, they either acted with them or they took them under their wing or whatever the case may be. They have that access just like the adult. So the adult might be 15 plus years older than them, but they still got the same access as the adult.
No, I mean, because if you read these stories, you will hear about the singers back in the 40s and 50s, how they was being raped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Perfect example, Aretha Franklin. She was, about 12, 13 when she had her first kid.
So it's like, it's a culture that's been going on for so long. And they pick and choose. Because if you look at all our entertainers, Usually when they die, they be broke and on drugs. Majority of them. It don't. Very rarely do you have
Someone that just died of natural
like
causes.
who and they have and they made money and they got money to go. You know what I'm saying? It seems like if you can go look at every story from the blues singers, the managers was the ones, the white managers
Getting that cash.
got the money.
That's why all them old Jewish folks that was in charge back then, they died millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was managing any and everybody. Perfect example. What's the guy? Jerry Heller.
So what do you think about YSL? Yeah.
YSL, the situation with Young Thug,
Yeah.
I kind of just tuned out from that because you want to know why? Anything that has anything to do with somebody cooperating with the police, they automatically labeled as a snitch. So it's just like you got the gunners, you got all these other people that's in the situation other than Young Thug. If they say anything, they're a snitch.
Well, I got a question for you. How do you feel about the situation where you're seeing a lot of these rappers getting locked up?
They stupid.
Like, I mean, cause don't they say art
Imitates life.
imitate life, right? Life. Do you think they get caught up in because they don't watch so many mob movies that when they get money, they want to roll with?
It's about trying to be seen when they get to a certain point. Because it's like, think about it like this. If you grew up across the street in the Regencies, right?
Right.
You grew up and you just seen some of everything. I grew up over there. When you get to an adult, are you still going to do the same things that you've seen in the Regencies? Or are you going to get your money and get up out the hood, make a good life for you and your kids? Like, it's common sense. So when these people get famous and they have a certain amount of money, they want cousin Ray from the hood that they grew up with to still think that they cool. They can still do whatever it is that they was doing back when. So when you get that money, separate yourself. You got to separate yourself. Life imitates art. I understand, but you could be a rapper and talk about shooting people in the head, and you ain't got to hold no gun.
No, you know what? Because I watched him the day before I got here. I watched Nipsey Hussle. They just showed, well, not him, showed his brother. They were just showing the All Money In clip.
What's his name? Cowboy.
Black Sam. No.
Black Sam.
Yeah, somebody just did an interview.
Who's Cowboy? Cowboy is friend or something.
Yeah,
like
one of his friends. Yeah, with his big homie. But they were showing this one. They had Black Sam, which is his brother, who's still running the marathon. It had
Oh, it's still open?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they showing.
No, they got a new one. They doing a rooftop on Sunset, so they just stepped their game up.
Good.
But what I seen is from all of them, they still up under the All Money In brand up under his. But you got Jay Stone, who got 25 to 8, his clothing line. You got Pac-Man, who got Play Ball clothing line. You got Copy Supreme. You got the ABM clothing line. It's like
everybody get money together,
right? And they all got
different things.
They got stores, and they all got their different brands in each other's stores. And I'm looking at like, okay, you can say he was a gangbanger, but he was trying. Well, I ain't gonna say he was trying. He did reach back what they was trying to build, and they still moving how they need to be moving.
Even though they quote unquote can say whatever he's involved in,
right?
He always preached about generational wealth, giving back, and different things other than hey, shoot, kill, whatever.
That's the point I wanted to make, because it's like you can see, like, okay, well, LeBron, his homeboys, that's rare. How he got his homeboys and Maverick Carter, and they built something as far as his agency, manager.
Everybody got to be on the same page, though.
That's what I'm saying. You expect more, like Young Thug. He shouldn't be in jail for like hits being even caught up in something like that. You would think if you gonna bring your crew with you, we're gonna put the guns down and we're gonna
buy some stores,
we trying to build something. Yeah. Not that we finna be out here and me and you, we running around and running up on people. You can mess around and get shot. We still playing, like, even going to the clubs. It should be strictly business. Like, how can we do this? I feel like, If you still want to do that and be running around pulling up,
Do your thing.
yeah. But if you trying to get some money, like build something,
Sit down.
holler at 18.
For real. Holla at 18. You know what's crazy? So when I was a teenager, even when I got into my 20s, I was definitely a hothead. I be having my moments and stuff still.
Right.
But I think when it comes to having kids and building a business and having careers and all that kind of stuff, I had to tune all that down. So it really is just your mindset. When you have a lot of things that you can lose, like literally lose and be in a bad predicament, you think about your actions a little bit more. I don't know what it is about Young Thug that he looked at the street life and said, you know what, the street life is worth way more than this legal money that I'm getting. Baby, let me be getting some millions legally. You couldn't even pay me to talk about no YSL, no ABC, 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't be talking about none of that.
Not even like the people I bring with me. They would have to quit hustling. It'd be whatever you doing, you stop. I'm bringing you with me. We finna go. You finna be legit. Yeah, it's like we finna.
You're not missing out on that.
Yeah, we finna put something down. Like
he could have really set himself up and the people around him to be multi-millionaires, and the money would never run out. Because if, okay, say he the one out the crew that's getting the cash. Hey, I'm about to open a store in Lennox. I'm about to do this, that, and the other in Cal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Expand, do things that's going to generate money even when you sit down. Maybe you figure that you want to take the Jay-Z route and be behind the scenes for a while. When you're able to sit down and generate money in your sleep, that's how you know you made it.
Right.
Wise person told me that. Make money in your sleep.
Now, as you supposed to, it shouldn't be. Listen, man, I be feeling sad when I see these young kids dying at 15, 16. You ain't really lived. You ain't lived if you hit 30. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just now starting to live.
Yeah.
I look at a lot of stuff and I just be like, dang, man, I was just goofing around for a long time.
Right.
Just goofing around, trying to figure it out.
Right. This might, the next 20, you might get everything you need. You know what I'm saying?
Everything
you might get it straightened out. So, you know, it's like, I don't know. I just look at it like build something. That's my whole thing. Like, let's build something. Let's do something. I don't want to wait.
That's what I'm at with it.
Yeah, like I ain't waiting on saying what somebody should do for us. Do it for ourselves.
I look at my kids and I say, you know what? Whether I'm here another 20 years or another 2, I want them to have something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I'm gone, I don't want them to have to struggle. So these people out here with all these kids and stuff, because Young Thug got a good amount of kids too. Why would you ever want to put your kids in a situation where they have to figure it out?
Because one thing I do know, when you do go, meaning if you die or you go to prison, nobody gonna treat your kids or go buy them. You gonna treat them.
All them homeboys from the hood, man, no girl about. Okay.
I done seen stories where you seen, I don't want to say it, where you see something like, man, just give you a story. Look at it, and I ain't gonna bring that up. That's right, I ain't there, but I done seen where you'll be thinking rapper kids when they gone, they pops them gone, how much people love them, and you see how they be struggling.
I know a couple people from here.
But no, I'm saying nationwide.
I know a person from here. I'm not gonna put them out there, but they went through a whole struggle where they pops passed and they had to try to do a lot of stuff on their own. I'm like, man, your pops was really famous dude, real famous dude. You would think that, you know, but it's because pops died young. So I don't think he was prepared to leave.
Yeah, and then you gotta think management. See, when we don't think of owning our own, we be steady going to somebody else. Like we gotta go to the major companies because if we do try to start our own publishing, we usually get locked up, killed, because we can't have nothing. That's for us.
It always seems like we get picked off as soon as we start having a vision.
Yeah, you don't supposed to think. We can't think. That's the worst thing. Is for you to think for yourself.
Well, yeah, I hate to cut you short, Mickey. Hey, you was talking tonight. I like this, but before we get off, I gotta hurry up and make a major announcement. I got a co-host, y'all. I got a co-host. We like to welcome Rayvon Taylor from the Ray Podcast. He's actually my new co-host. This is my homeboy, y'all. So he's in good hands. Um, I'm gonna introduce him to you guys sometime during the week. But yeah, we got us a new co-host. So welcome to the family, Ray. Welcome to the family. He was busy tonight, so we couldn't get him on. But anyways, thank y'all for tuning in, and I will check y'all out next week.